This is Mission Spotlight reporting on Quebec. Quebec is the largest province in Canada. Its land area is more than twice the size of Texas. 6.5 million people live in Quebec. This is a country where French predominates. French has been declared the official language, and the law states all signs in the province must be in that language. Quebec is known as the beautiful province of Canada. In autumn, the forests burst into a symphony of color. The forests of Quebec account for about 5% of the world's pulp and paper. Scores of mills make paper production the leading manufacturing industry. Vast mineral deposits produce copper, asbestos, iron ore, zinc, and gold. No other region in North America produces so much hydroelectric power. Great rivers offer enormous potential. The James Bay Electrical Project, now under construction at a cost of $16.5 billion, will supply power for New York City. The history of Quebec is replete with tales of bloody battles. In 1759, British guns thundered an end to New France by defeating French, Indian, and Canadian defenders. The final and conclusive battle for possession was waged on the cliffs of Quebec City overlooking the St. Lawrence River. But the French do not give up. Even today in Quebec City, French-Canadian soldiers in elaborate British uniforms march to French music and commands. Quebec City is the oldest city in Canada. It was founded in 1608 and is truly imbued with an old-world flavor that lingers. The splendid 85-year-old Hotel Chateau Frontenac is situated on a bluff high above the old section of the city. Newer sections of the city epitomize the French culture, a culture that unites the people of Quebec province. The people, with their language, their buoyant spirit, and zest for life, give a special meaning to the beauty of the land. The culture infects everyone with a unique gaiety. For all its history, Quebec City is not a fossilized relic of the past. It is the vibrant, living capital of the province. It is a place to relax and enjoy beauty, history, and good food. Montreal is Canada's largest city. Among the world's French-speaking cities, it is second only to Paris. Montreal is a cosmopolitan city where modern office towers rub shoulders with 18th century stone houses. The 16th century explorers could not have imagined such a city would grow on the place where they looked out across the great St. Lawrence Seaway to a vast wilderness beyond. Today, great bridges span the waterways. Montreal has become Canada's most important port, staging point for the commerce of a continent. The city is rich with historical flavor. A unique architecture makes the Montreal residential area impressive. It is famous for sidewalk sales. Streets are closed to traffic and shopkeepers move their merchandise out the front door. In 1976, Montreal played host to the world for the Summer Olympics. The events were staged in a complex that belongs to the 21st century. Olympic Park includes a stadium that can seat as many as 80,000 spectators for baseball, football, or hockey. The aquatic facilities include 6 different pools, a gymnasium, cafeteria, and a number of other accommodations. More than 94% of the people in Quebec are Roman Catholic. Religion has always dominated the lives of the people. A few miles outside Montreal, a sign identifies the oldest Seventh-day Adventist church in Canada. It was organized in 1876 with 25 members. P.F. Lemon, president of the Quebec Conference, stood before the little church holding a Bible. This Bible, he said, once belonged to the man who pioneered the work in Quebec and built this church. Membership growth through the years has been slow, but in recent years, people have started to show an interest in the work of the church. The pastor in Quebec City received word that a lady had completed the Bible course. He made a call to the home. When he asked Mrs. Roy about the Bible lessons, she said she had sent for them, but the lady downstairs had actually completed them. The pastor contacted the lady downstairs. Alice Louvois was an active Catholic. Her interest in the Bible lesson stemmed from reading a Bible she had accepted from a Jehovah's Witness. The pastor began Bible studies, and soon Alice was baptized. Richard is a furrier. A few years back, he served a prison term for pushing drugs. When he got out, he began to attend meetings at the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Quebec. Richard told his pastor he was impressed with the temperance messages. In 1977, he became a Seventh-day Adventist. Since then, a brother and a sister have been baptized and are now attending Canadian Union College. 3 others with whom he has studied have become members. Richard, what did it mean to you to accept Christ as your Savior?
It have changed my life. I got a new point of view of my life, because I don't do the same thing. I don't think the same, and I don't work for the same thing. I'm very glad that I met Christ.
Pastor Sanchez, who directs the literature sales for the Quebec Conference, says his workers report that people seem to be searching for something meaningful. In June 1979, 10 members of one family were baptized from the sale of Great Controversy. Mr. Jock and 34 other family members and friends who live in the St. Henry community have recently become Seventh-day Adventists. Their interest began when a member sold a motel to Mr. Jock's son-in-law. Mr. Jock says the men and boys of their little church all come when they can to help him build their place of worship. Status with neighbors is the biggest drawback in getting new members. Many factors have accounted for the slow progress of the church in Quebec, but this is changing. Since 1974, 7 new churches and 6 companies have been organized. Membership has reached 1,600. The encouraging note is the dedication and willingness of new members. Harold Cote is a French Canadian. He holds a good job as a supervisor in a large manufacturing plant. Through the It Is Written television program, contact was made with Seventh-day Adventists. He and his family were baptized 2 years ago. As Pastor Lemon visited with the Cote family, he learned that they have sold their home in Montreal. Harold is giving up his job to take theology at Canadian Union College. He will return to Quebec to enter the ministry. Lemon says one of the handicaps of advancing the church in Quebec has been the lack of educational opportunities for the French-speaking youth.
1/4 of the population of Canada live in Quebec. Of the 6.5 million in Quebec, 5 million of these are French-speaking Quebecers. The challenge is for us to provide secondary education in the French medium for these people.
Since the founding of Quebec as a nation, public schools have been governed through Catholic and Protestant educational systems. In 1960, the government set up a Minister of Education who is advised by a council of members from the 2 systems. Under such an arrangement, it is a miracle that any private schools can function. But the Lord has intervened in behalf of our church schools. And at this time, Scores of school buildings are no longer needed because families have fewer children. These buildings are being made available for a very low rent. So, with such opportunities opening to the church in Quebec, Sabbath school members are urged to help support the establishment of a secondary school for both the French and the English languages. Seventh-day Adventist children set high goals.
My name is Hazel Valdivia, and I'm from Peru, near Lake Titicaca, and I speak 4 languages: Spanish, Greek, English, and French. I'm very happy that I can get an education here in Montreal. When I grow up, I want to become a doctor.
Boys and girls in the Seventh-day Adventist churches all over the world have one theme song.
We are the pathfinder strong, our servants of God are we, faithful as we march along, in truth and purity, a message to tell to the world, a truth that will set us free.
From the offices of the Quebec Conference, this is Mission Spotlight.